And it's Arcanine PC. We're by far the greatest team that the world has ever seen. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? You can call me Kai Guy. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. And if this is your first time here, welcome to you. I am your coach of the Arcanine Pokemon Club. That is Arcanine PC for short in the NBA, and we are here for our week 6 battle going up against LethalBlue, friend of the channel, friend of the streams. You guys have seen him a bunch on live streams before, so he's an actual GOAT, really cool guy. Excited to be able to play him. It's a battle of the top 2 teams, actually, because fun fact for you guys, Lethal is actually the only undefeated team left in the league. They are currently 5-0 while we are currently 4-1. They are in first place while we are in second place. It's a battle of the top 2. So this matchup does have a lot of playoff seeding implications going on. So we're definitely going to try and be the one that picks up that W. And maybe that propels us up into first place. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to be breaking down the Pokemon I'm bringing, why I'm bringing them, all that cool stuff. And also I'll give you a brief rundown of Lethal's team that they could bring. So that way you guys are aware. I'll make sure to put a picture on screen and everything as well so you guys can kind of follow along. So for Lethal's team, they have a very, very scary team the more I look at this. Garchomp, Meowscarada, Rotom Wash, Metagross, which is one of his Terra Captains, Gengar, Incineroar, which is his other Terra Captain, Cryogonal, Mega Pinsir, and Enamorus. That is a very scary team. It's very easy to see why he is currently 5-0. A phenomenal Fairy Dragon, Steel Core, and Garchomp, Metagross, and Enamorus. A phenomenal Terra Captain and Metagross, one of, in my opinion, the best Mons that can Terra, because getting it, like, rid of its not so great Steel Psychic typing is just super good for it. Hard-hitting special attacker in Gengar, a pretty solid Mega in Mega Pinsir for the value that he got for it, an insane speed tier in Meowscarada. There's a lot we're going to have to contend with this week, so hopefully we're able to pull out that hashtag Dubski, and we will see how things go. Yeah, hopefully things go well for us. I'm really excited to be playing Lethal. Like I said, guys, friend of the channel, friend of the streams. You guys have seen him around the streams all the time. Super cool dude. Always bringing a good mood to the stream, which is much appreciated. So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the Pokemon I am going to be bringing this week. I'll break down who I'm bringing, why I'm bringing them, all that cool stuff. First up is the team captain. Of course, we have Lucina, the Sneasler, holding the air balloon with the Unburden ability. And the moves Swords Dance, Close Combat, Poison Jab, and Acrobatics. So the main reason I'm running Air Balloon this week is to force them to be able to have to hit me first if they want to hit me with ground moves. For example, if Metagross packs like something like a Stomping Tantrum or an Earthquake to try and hit me, which I don't know why he was, since I'm 4 times weak to Psychic, but you get the idea. Basically, it lets me get in on Garchomp, and Garchomp can't hit me with its powerful ground type stab. Then I can set up an SD and then also hit hard really back after getting the +2 and getting my Unburden all at once with either CC, Poison Jab, or Acrobatics. I thought about also running protective pads on this thing, but I think I'm going to go with the Air Balloon to get the extra little boost thanks to my Unburden. Because as soon as that balloon pops, our speed doubles and we are off on a roll and raring to go. So yeah, that's kind of the moveset we're going to be rocking with. We got Close Combat there for the Meowscarada, for the Incineroar before it Terras. Does good damage to Metagross before it Terras as well. Hits the Cryogonal too, and then we've also got Poison Jab here for the Enamorus as well as, that's basically it. And then Acrobatics just hits pretty hard on something that might resist normally. Like, if I wanted to, like, I could go for an Acrobatics into something like the Gengar, which is probably going to be what I have to do, because Gengar resists Poison Jab and it's immune to close combat. So in case the Gengar comes, I figured might as well bring an Acrobatics. It could also be good to catch the Metagross or the Incineroar based on their Terra typing. That could be pretty helpful. So yeah, that's going to be Lucina this week. Next up is Rhea, our Kyurem, holding the Choice Scarf this week with the Pressure ability, Ice Beam, Freeze Dry, Earth Power, and Draco Meteor. So the reason we're going with this is because Kyurem is outsped by a lot of his threatening Pokemon. Something like the Mega Pinsir, something like the Garchomp, something like the Meowscarada. So I wanted a little bit of extra speed to be able to outspeed his entire team, barring any Choice Scarfers on his side. So that's why Kyurem is here, to be able to hit with super powerful stab combination as well as nice coverage and Earth Power. So that's why we are running what we are running this week. We got a max special attack on this thing with Modest Nature, a good amount of HP, and then 112 speed. With a Choice Scarf guarantees we outspeed every form of Meowscarada, unless he is Choice Scarf as well. So if he's Jolly max speed Meowscarada, I believe he hits like 370 something, whereas we will hit like 1 point higher than him. That's why we've chosen this the specific spread here, because thanks to that Choice Scarf, our speed's multiplied by 1.5, so we'll be able to outspeed his entire team now, barring any other Choice Scarfers. That bulk investment should help us eat a hit or two, and then modest special attack, max special attack to go hit as hard as possible. This thing kind of hits really hard into his team. We got Ice Beam for the Garchomp, or Ice Beam for Garchomp and Meowscarada. Freeze Dry for Rotom. Earth Power hits Metagross before it Terras. Earth Power hits Gengar. Earth Power hits Incineroar before it Terras. The only thing that really takes something from this thing is Cryogonal, so I feel like Cryogonal is a guaranteed bring on his part, because otherwise this Pokemon just hits his entire team for super effective damage. Because I also have Ice Beam for the Mega Pinsir and Ice Beam for the Enamorus. So honestly, like, if he doesn't bring the Cryogonal, I'm going to be shocked, because that's the only thing that can shut down Kyurem. And hopefully we're able to take advantage of that. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, we got Frederick, our Ting-Lu, holding the leftovers with Vessel of Ruin, Stealth Rock, Whirlwind, Ruination, Earthquake. Running a max HP, max defense on this thing, just in case things get out a bit out of hand with the Garchomp. In case it's like SD Scale Shot or something, I wanted to run max HP, max defense on this guy, be able to eat up hits, and also Whirlwind it out with a Whirlwind on this thing to get it gone, all that cool stuff. I thought about running Spikes this week, but he has multiple flying types with the Enamorus, the Pinsir, as well as Pokemon that are levitating like the Rotom and the Cryogonal. So not really a point to run Spikes, so I decided to run a little bit of Stealth Rocks for extra hazard chip damage. Because that way it'll actually hit the Pokemon that have Levitate and stuff, and also the Flyers, unless they're running heavy-duty boots. But since its Pinsir is Mega, it can't run anything except its Mega Stone, so if that thing swaps out and switches back in on my Stealth Rocks, it's taking an automatic 50%, which we like to see. Like I said, Whirlwind is there in case things get out of hand, whether that be the Garchomp or maybe the Mega Pinsir, depending on what moves they've got. Because I am still weak to the bug, but hopefully we can make that work. Ruination is just there to get off a solid 50% on something, and then Earthquake is there for something like the Gengar, something like the Metagross or Incineroar before they Terra. Yeah, that's basically Frederick this week. Be an annoying physical wall. That's kind of the plan. Next up is Catherine, the Manectric, holding the Manectric with Lightning Rod, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Toxic. We're rocking 96 HP on this thing, 252 special attack, and 160 speed with a Timid Nature. After this Mega evolves, it guarantees outspeed his entire team as well. We will outspeed every single thing on his team because Manectric is my fastest Pokemon. It outspeeds his entire team normally, and then I have enough speed for Jolly Max Speed Meowscarada on this, so that way we guaranteed outspeed his entire team, barring any Choice Scarfers. So that's the reason why we're rocking this specific set here. Volt Switch for momentum, obviously. Thunderbolt does good damage to something like the Mega Pinsir or the Enamorus. It also could be good to do some big chip damage to the Rotom, or something like the Gengar as well. Flamethrower is here for Meowscarada, as well as something like the Cryogonal, and then Toxic is here to kind of catch something on a switch-in maybe. Something like the Garchomp, the Rotom, maybe even the Cryogonal as well. So that's a pretty basic Catherine set this week, but it's one that I feel like the only moves that I'm going to be running for the end of time this season, because like it doesn't really have any other good moves besides these three, so I don't know, we'll see. But for now, this is what we're rocking with. Should be able to get some momentum going for me, get some decent damage off, and spread a little bit of status. Next up, we've got Saber the Scissor, holding a Choice Band this week with Technician, Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Knockoff, and Toxic. So we are rocking Offensive Scissor this week for the first time in, I think, a while. Maybe even since, like, week 2 or 3, I want to say. So a solid couple of weeks since we tried to bring Offensive Scissor. And we're rocking it with a Choice Band this week, so we're going to be boosting our physical attack times 1.5, which is going to put it over, I think, 500 attack, which is pretty solid. Yeah, there's not a lot that wants to take a Terra Steel boosted Choice Banded Bullet Punch. So that's going to hit super hard into a lot of his team. U-Turn is also there for momentum. Knockoff gets rid of items, and Toxic is there in case we catch something like the Garchomp or the Rotom on a switch-in. Because I didn't really have a fourth move I wanted to put in this. I thought about Close Combat for something like the Cryogonal or the Incineroar. But I was like, well, Bullet Punch is going to do a lot to Cryogonal, and I'm not staying on an Incineroar as is. So I figured might as well just give it Toxic, and maybe we can catch something else on the switch in. So that is the saber we are rocking this week, and like I said, we're running the Terra Steel this week with max HP, max attack, adamant nature, and a tiny little bit of Spadef. Last but not least is Sita, our Moltres with the heavy duty boots and the flame body ability. Roost Defog, Willow, Flamethrower. This is kind of here to be a pretty good special wall, because the Enamorus also scares me. I'm not gonna lie, like, yes, I have Terra Steel boosted Scizor Bullet Punch on this thing, but the Enamorus is still pretty scary into my team, especially if it's rocking like a Psychic, because I have 2 Pokemon weak to the Moonblast. I have 1 Pokemon weak to Psychic. I have 1 Pokemon weak to Mystical Fire, which I believe it gets. So this is just kind of my catch-all switch in to be like, no. Be bulky, eat up hits, and hopefully be able to wall it. Roost is there for recovery, Defog to get rid of his hazards if he brings them, Will-O-Wisp to get a nice little burn off on stuff, something like the Garchomp, the Meow, or maybe even the Mega Pinsir could be nice. Flamethrower is also there for just big damage, max HP, max speed depth on this thing to be able to eat up those specially defensive hits. And that is going to be the team we are rocking this week. So let me know what you guys think of the squad down in the comments. What do you like that I brought? What do you not like? Make sure to let me know all that cool stuff. And I hope you'll be cheering on your Arcanine Pokemon Club in the battle against LethalBlue. Let's go ahead and jump right into the battle, you guys. So I will see you in just a moment. Alright, we are back. We got all connected with LethalBlue and had the battle. This is the post-commentary of it. So we're going to go ahead and just break down the battle for you guys. All that cool stuff. So I'm going to show the moves and everything, give my kind of like my breakdown for things and stuff, and see how things end up going. So we see that the 6 he ends up bringing is the Garchomp, the Mega Pinsir, which is actually hidden behind the Metagross, which is kind of funny. The aforementioned Metagross, the Meowscarada, Cryogonal, and the Rotom. So no Gengar, no Enamorus, which is kind of not great, honestly, because now Moltres is kind of a little bit expendable, I suppose, and I kind of wish I was running physically defensive this week instead of specially defensive. Whatever, live and learn. So that's a bit unfortunate, but I think my play here is just to lead my Manectric, because if he leads something like the Pinsir or the Rotom, I can get a free Volt Switch off on those, and then maybe get some momentum going and everything. So we're actually going to go ahead and lead with Catherine, as we see Lethal ends up leading the Scizor. Also, you guys might notice a theme with Lethal's nicknames. Do what the hold on, I'm gonna pause. Do what the nickname says while we wait. Go ahead and do what the nickname says. I'll wait. All right, thank you for that. What an actual goat, dude. You guys are gonna notice a huge theme with these. What an actual goat, dude. It's so sick. All right, so immediately we do see he leads with the Pinsir. So obvious switching the Garchomp is obvious, but if on the off chance he stayed in, I was like, I have to click like Thunderbolt or Volt Switch. I have to. I really wanted the Toxic here turn 1, but I was like, if he stays in with the Pinsir and goes for like something like an X's or an Earthquake, that's really gonna hurt me a ton. So I'm like, I'll just deal with the consequences, and I'm just gonna go ahead and click the Thunderbolt here, or maybe it's the maybe I do go for Volt Switch. Let's see. I do go for the T-Ball. I thought I did. As we see, like and comment, the Garchomp, what an actual goat. Yo, let's go. And he does bring in the Garchomp, which is a bit unfortunate. I wanted Toxic there so bad, but I was like, if he stays in, then it's going to be really bad for me. And getting rid of that Mega Pinsir early could be super helpful. So he does go for the T-Bolt here. I get the Intimidate off on it, but unfortunately the Thunderbolt does nothing. So looking at this, I could just bring in the Ting-Lu in case he tries to get a little shiesty and set up with an SD or a Scale Shot. I could also go out into my Scizor and kind of wall this thing a decent amount, or get some good damage off on it with Bullet Punch. But I will end up making the play into the Ting-Lu just to be on the safe side. As we see, he's actually going to go for a Toxic of his own. So more than likely he's Support Chomp, which again kind of invalidates Ting-Lu a little bit now. I guess Ting-Lu is still good into Metagross, depending on what his Terra type is. But at the time, I wasn't really thinking, so I was like, oh, well, this is it's just Garchomp? It's just Support Chomp? Oh, well, Ting-Lu's useless now. So, yeah, that probably wasn't the best mindset to get myself into, because now I'm going to be taking Toxic every single turn. That was a good play on his part, going for that Toxic there. That was a smart decision. And we see he's actually going to go for the Spikes. Boost that algorithm. Yeah, I love everybody in this league. Everybody in this league is sick as hell. I'm going to go for my Rocks. So those are going to be up. The only thing he's got to remove hazards is the Cryogonal. So we know it's probably going to have Spin on that thing. He's going to set up a second layer, as I'm going to go for Ruination to get rid of half of his HP. Probably going to want to switch out here so I don't let my Tinglu get too low. He actually swaps out into the Pinsir, as I do decide I'm going to go ahead and go for one more Ruination. Breaks him down to 38%. Again, Frederick taking a lot of damage, though. I don't like that. Like, I'm already at half HP, and this Pokemon doesn't exactly have a way to heal itself, outside of maybe something like a Chesto Berry with Rest, which could be something that I might explore in the future. So we'll see. But yeah, unfortunately, I think I either just have to swap out here, otherwise Frederick goes down. So I'm actually going to go ahead and make the play into the Mega Manectric, get an Intimidate off, take some unfortunate spike damage, and we see he's actually going to step his Stealth Rocks and not Mega, which is kind of surprising. So here I'm thinking, alright, well, he could just go back into the Garchomp again. He also could just, again, stay in like before. I feel like my play is probably going to be to go for the Toxic. So I end up here going ahead and clicking the Toxic, and I miss, which is just super cool, man. Love this game. Also, what was the Scissors nickname? Did I already, or not the Scissor, the Pinsir? Yeah, I already checked. We already saw that one. Alright, so we're good, we're good. Yeah, we haven't seen the other four yet. We've only seen those two so far. Alright, cool. So yeah, we missed the Toxic. Big unfortunate. I don't think it ends up mattering too much in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate of a miss, sadly, as we now have to go out into our Moltres. He makes a great play here. Goes for the Dragon Tail, because that would have forced me back out, because my obvious switch into Moltres was obvious. It was a good play on his part, so now I can kind of just freely defog these hazards away. He's going to freely Toxic me, though, which blows, because I don't have a Pokemon with Heal Bell or Aromatherapy on this team, unfortunately. I think I do. I think maybe Tapu Bulu gets Aromatherapy, but like Bulu isn't the best. Like I don't know. I haven't really brought it much this season. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But might be something to explore, because my team is kind of weak to Toxic poisoning. So yeah, I've already got 2 mons that are Toxic, which sucks for me, especially because they're my bulkiest team members. So I'm like, well, that sucks. At least I got rid of his hazards. I guess I could just go for a Will-O-Wisp here, as we see he's going to reset up his spikes, and I'm going to go for a Willow, get the Garchomp burned. So now he's going to be taking a little bit of extra chip damage each turn. He's going to set up his spike and go out into the Rotom, as I'm going to swap out into Tinglu here. I was doing some calcing, and if he's not like really offensive, I should have a chance to live and attack. So I decided, well, actually maybe not. Maybe I calced that and I changed my mind, because I thought I calced that I had a chance to live depending on his spread. But on the off chance he ended up going and being offensive, I thought about switching out into Manectric here. So I'm going to get an Intimidate off on this thing, which ends up being my downfall, because he is very much offensive. One might even say that might be choice specs, excuse me. And Manectric goes down immediately, which sucks, because Manectric into late game actually looks really good. So unfortunately, Manectric is going to pop immediately, as I'm going to have to bring out my Kyurem here, really revealing that I'm Scarf a little bit. Also, wait, I missed the Rotom nickname. Yo, yeah, the draft gameplay? Yo, yeah, we're adding that to the channel. Yes, sir, yes, sir. We've been kind of grinding that draft gameplay. Yes, indeed. 2 leagues at once is how we do. Just watch my Manectric die again, so that's super cool. I'm going to go out in my Kyurem here. His obvious switch into the Crogonal is obvious. Chill Streams. Hey, my go. That's an actual go right there. And you guys are going to see this thing is going to take absolutely 0 from this. That was a crit, and it did 15% to Cryogonal. This Pokemon is so specially bulky, it's not even funny. And it's like the perfect switch into Kyurem. So, like, it actually is very, very frustrating to deal with. Well, I know I can't stay on this because I can't do anything to it. Yes, the people are gassing out Cryogonal in the comments, because, like, I mean, yeah, it ate that hit for breakfast, dude. Like, actually, it might end up being a V. So we might be something to explore at some point. But I'm gonna swap into my Moltres here, as he makes a double into the Metagross. Ring that bell, what a goat! Oh my god, I love it. So immediately I'm like, okay, well, if he stays in for any reason, I'm just gonna try and burn it. I don't care. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take more toxic damage because there's no way he's gonna stay in. But I can't not risk it. As we see, he's gonna go into the Garchomp. I do end up going for the Flamethrower here, which I guess I was trying to decide between going for the Will-O-Wisp and going for the damage. And I guess I went for the damage here, because we did see he was Terra Steel on this at the beginning of the game. So I'm just going to go for the Flamethrower, get a little bit of chippies off, as we get a little bit of extra burn damage off on the Garchomp, as he doubles out into the Pinsir. I went for the Roost here, which I probably should have just gone for the Flame to try and KO the Garchomp, which would have been smart. We see he's not gonna Mega yet, and he also hits a Stone Edge, which is an 80% accurate move, which is really fun. And it does give him a Moxie boost here, so we see he is confirmed Moxie on the original Pinsir, and that is gonna KO my my Sita there, which that is kind of what I need for Metagross, so that's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, that is not fun, unfortunately. Yep. So. Exactly what Metro said. Every single little guy gets rock coverage, 1000%. Like it's so frustrating being like, this Pokemon's so good unless they have a rock move, and that's like a bunch of different physical attackers. But it's why it's all good. It's all good. So he's gonna actually go for quick attack here while I Terra Steel and go for the Bullet Punch, and that thing is gonna drop. So the Mega Pinsir is gone. He brings in the Rotom Wash, which is kind of just free. And I bring in Tinglu here just to kind of die. He goes for the Thunder Wave. So if he is locked in, that means he's locked in Thunder Wave. So like that's not the worst case scenario for me. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna kind of spam Ruination because I do see you get the confirmation he is choice. So I'm gonna get my Stealth Rocks up. So now those are good to go. And then he's gonna bring in the Cryogonal. As I'm gonna get a Ruination off on this thing, get that thing below around 43%. And I decide I'm going to get aggressive here. So what I'm going to do is I'm assuming he's going to Rapid Spin. I think he knows that Tinglu dies to Toxic next turn, so he's going to try and get the rocks off of his side of the field. So I'm going to get aggressive, make a play into Sneasler, and get my Air Balloon popped because I won't take spike damage. He goes to the Rapid Spin, I get my Air Balloon popped, which means I am now unburdened, and he gets his Speed Boost, but unfortunately I'm going to outspeed and be able to get a Poison Jab off on this guy. And now the Garchomp comes in. So this ends up being Rough Skin, which is a bit unfortunate. I go for the Poison Jab. We see he is Rough Skin plus Rocky Helmet, so Protective Pads have been really helpful this week. But we get some good damage off on that thing. I decided to kind of just go for raw power on this thing, and this ended up not being the smartest play here, because I'm just going to go for the CC here. It didn't quite have a chance to kill, but it could have been close depending on how much spread he had. If I was +2, this easily killed, and we probably just win. But unfortunately, I did not have a chance to set up a Swords Dance. So I'm just going to go for the CC here as he goes for the Volt Switch, and that's going to KO me. But he's going to bring in the Meowscarada here. Kagai does it all. What an actual go. I'm one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, too. What an actual legend. So I'm going to go into Kyurem here. Yeah, you can see me. I'm like pogging in chat right now, dude. I'm literally pogging in chat. So he's going to bring in the Meowscarada. I'm going Kyurem. He doesn't know I'm Scarfed quite yet. So I'm just going to go for an Ice Beam. That thing is gone. That thing is diggity dang gone. Ring that bell. What a goat. So good, man. So here I'm like, alright, Tinglu, you've done your job. Time to go. As we see, he is going to Terra Steel. And he's just going to Bullet Punch, KO me. So now I have a Kyurem left, and I have a Scizor left. So we end up going out into Kyurem first, because I'm like, okay, I could just go ahead and go for an Earth Power in this thing, and that should be pretty helpful. As we do, he goes for a Bullet Punch. It only does about 45, so I'm like, I can get some big damage off on this thing, and Scizor can Revenge. Because I'm Terra Steel Bullet Punch, so I can get big damage off on this guy, and then 2 Bullet Punches should win me the game, because I'm pretty sure Terra Steel Bullet Punch with a offensive Rotom, even if it's 4 times resisted, would still pick up the KO, because I'm Choice Banded. But we see he's actually Assault Vest on this thing, so that ends up being a big ol' rip, and unfortunately now, it's kind of just where things are going to get swept up. Oh man, dude, I was so upset. I was like, dang, that thing is bulky. Oh my god, dude. If he was not AV, I think we had a good shot there. That's unfortunate. But I have to bring in Scizor here, and I can't KO this thing with Bullet Punches, so he's just going to be able to fire off his own, go for a knockoff, get rid of my Choice Band, as I'm going to go for a knockoff of my own, do about 29. Oh yeah, he wasn't even AV, he was just leftovers, dude. He wasn't even AV, he was just lefty. What am I saying? That Pokemon's insanely bulky, dude. That Pokemon's so bulky. And look how much Terra Steel Bullet Punch did with Choice Band, dude. Oh, we could have had it. We could have had it. Oh, it was so close, dude. Yeah, Lethal and I literally on the same brain cell are Terra Steel non-steel types. As he goes for the BP and picks up the W. So unfortunately, your Washington Woobat your Arcanine Pokemon Club are gonna fall to hold on, it's week 6, right? We're gonna fall to 4-2 on the season as Lethal moves to 6-0. Unfortunately, we're not able to end the undefeated streak. He's still rocking, he's still rolling. Maybe next time, maybe around playoffs, we'll be able to pick up a little bit of a run back. That's the goal at least, so we'll see how that goes. GG's to Lethal. I just want to see, what was his investment on the Metagross? So he was max HP, max Spadef. So if he was offensive Metagross, that did so much damage, dude. Oh man, we were so close. We actually could have pulled it out with Scizor, with Choice Band, Bullet Punch. Dang, dude. If he was not max HP, max Spadef, we could have had that. Oh well, that's still a game we play. GG's to Lethal. What an actual go. I love the nicknames, my dude. Much appreciated for the love, for the hype in the nicknames. That was huge. What an actual goat. Unfortunately, your Arcanine Pokemon Club are going to fall to 4-2 as Lethal moves to 6-0. GG's, my dude. We'll be back here next week, excuse me, for another exciting battle in the NBA. I will catch you guys then. Let me know what you got. Let me know what you thought about the battle in the comments and leave a like on it, as it helps me out a ton. Also, subscribe if you are new around here. We're on our way to 600 subscribers. That's my goal for the year. I'd really appreciate if you could help me hit that. It would mean a lot to me. Yeah, that's an unfortunate loss this week, but we'll bounce back. I promise. That's what we always do around here. We always bounce back. So hopefully next week we're able to pick up a Dubski. Unfortunate L this week, but we come back stronger. That's how we do. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I will catch you all here next week for another exciting battle in the NBA. But until then, I'll leave you with this. Peace.